Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. In this video we are going to take a look. There is this thing that is happening between Helen Zille and also Panyaza Lusufi. It's all about the mayorship in Tshwane. So there is those things that are happening. They are talking to each other. They are talking against each other, if I may put it. Okay, not against each other, but Helen Zille said something about Panyaza Lusufi, and of course Manyatela, or let me say Clement Manyatela from 702, actually, made it very, very simple by actually calling Panyaza Lusufi just to respond on what Helen Zille has said. Okay, let me not talk too much. Please like, share, subscribe, and do the do's. Now I'm going to play this video here about it is Manyatela on 702, so he's just doing an interview just to find out on what exactly it's actually going on, because it's very important to get it from the horse's mouth. All right, let's get into the video, and then guys, obviously I will pause there and there, not too much because I'm trying to do that. Okay, anyway, let's get into it.
Is that the Gauteng ANC is actually ignoring the advice of the national government. So I thought we should hear from the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng, Panyaza Lusufi, who joins us now on the line. Premier, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam. Are you well?
I'm all right.
I was on the road. Let me quickly park. So,
no problem. Yeah, while you park, while you park, Premier, just take a listen to also what Helen Zille had indicated to me this morning as we were pre-recording that conversation, that we're going to be playing all of it at 10 o'clock. It's basically repeating what she's been saying over the last few days, including in your interaction with her on social media. You were having good discussions with the African National Congress. They were also talking to Action SA, and then on voting day, they decide to vote with Action SA. What do you understand? What was happening behind the scenes in your negotiations?
Well, we were in very good and constructive discussions with the ANC, not only about Tshwane, but about several other metros as well. And the point was to stabilize those governments. We can't have a situation where there is one motion of no confidence after another, where there is enormous instability, which is terrible for the economy. And so we have been looking at getting stabilization agreements in several metros till the election of 2026. Now, suddenly the ANC went quiet and they didn't answer calls, and then I always know there's a problem. They're not phoning back or telling us anything because they've run into an internal problem, and that internal problem was Lusufi. And Panyaza Lusufi basically wants to go with Action SA. And what swung the ANC in the end, as I understand it, was that Lusufi argued that if the ANC went with Action SA, the ANC would get the mayor of Tshwane. And that if they went with the DA would keep Celia Brink as the mayor of Tshwane. So having the offer of the ANC mayor on the table, they decided to go with the ANC mayor offer on the table, and they forfeited all the other metros in the process, because we're now not going to have any of those discussions in the other metros until Brink is restored.
So that's what Helen Zille told me.
Guys, you must also remember that Herman Mashaba or Action SA, right? They were in coalition with the DA, okay? And since they were in coalition with the DA, it didn't go well. Okay, that is why now there is all these talks and negotiations about the mayorship in this, because the marriage between the Action SA and also the DA actually didn't work. Okay, that is why you find Herman Mashaba saying this.
Mistake. Instead of actually dealing with this matter with respect, they decided to insult ANC. I then said to the ANC during one of the discussions, I said, you know what, guys, I've really had enough of this DA arrogance. My body cannot take this abuse any longer. With Tshwane, I'm changing my mind. We are going to remove this the DA mayor, but Action SA wants executive position so that we can.
So Mashaba was not happy actually with the DA, because he says they are bully, they are trying to control them and all these things. We all know how the DA treat people, treat okay? And I can tell you guys that the ANC, somehow, I don't think they are happy with the DA, to be honest with you. I don't think, if they were to be honest, I don't think they are happy because of the way the DA actually operates. Okay, but now we're going to continue. He's going to ask now Panyaza Lusufi, okay, in response. Obviously, he has to respond. Let's get into it.
We will play that full interview after 10 o'clock. Premier Lusufi, is there a disagreement between the national ANC and the Gauteng ANC on how things should have transpired in Tshwane?
Not at all, Madimich. Actually, I'm baffled by this attitude to indicate that there's a difference between us and the national leadership, and specifically my name. Just to be on record, Madimich, in the last 10 days, I was not even in the country when this discussion about Tshwane was discussed. So for me to be dragged and be used as a ho-ho for the collapse of Tshwane or for the Councillor Brink to be recalled, it just baffles me. I was not there. I was not part of the discussion. I've never participated in discussion. Actually, contrary to popular view, I was following the deliberations that were happening in Tshwane from Germany on my social media networks. I never had a meeting with the national leadership. I never had a meeting with our provincial leadership, because when you are on leave, you leave those that need to run matters to run matters. So why my name is dragged, why I'm used as a ho-ho that didn't agree to this arrangement, it baffles me. But besides that point, Madimeja, which is something that the Democratic Alliance is missing. You remember the motion was tabled, I think, a month or so, Madimeja. And the leadership of the DA came to me before I left for Germany. They came to me. It was led by Solim Simang, Mayor Brink, and Mr. Nel. They requested to meet with me as the chair of the ANC so that we can postpone the motion and give them an opportunity to present a case on how they want to present an alternative on the issue of Tshwane. I met with them at a restaurant in Bedfordview, and this matter is not raised. And on the basis of them requesting to meet with me and requesting a postponement of the motion so that we can have discussions, probably they didn't tell their federal chair, Helen Zille, because in that meeting there were constructive discussions and we postponed the motion, and that's why the motion was not carried in the last council meeting. And that was on the basis of our discussions. That was led by myself. So I would have told them that I'm not ready, I'm prepared, I don't want to discuss with them and all these things. But on the second matter, the decision for the motion to be voted in was taken by our national leadership. The National Working Committee, 2 weeks before I left for Germany, invited us as a provincial leadership and also invited us together with our regional leadership of Tshwane to say, come and present your scenarios. And we presented both scenarios. We presented the scenario that involved the DA, we presented the scenario that involved Action SA. And we then said, no, leave, we'll come back to you. And I'm told the national leadership came on the day the motion has been voted to say, support the motion. And that's how the motion was supported. I was not there. I was not part of the discussion. I didn't contribute to these discussions. But I don't understand this obsession of the DA and many journalists that are just dragging my name as somebody who's rogue, somebody who's not confident.
Now, one of the things that I have actually noticed that Panyaza Lusufi says always is the fact that whatever they do, as the premier or as a mayor or whatever it is, they always, like, it comes from the ANC. That means he's under the leadership of the ANC. Okay, that is okay. But we also know that as the leader, maybe of a certain province, or maybe Gauteng, for example, as a mayor or maybe as a premier, okay? At some point, I believe that the ANC might say to you, listen, on this one, my guy, you can do whatever you want because you are a leader in that province. So we give you a go-ahead. That is why you even find when it was time for the coalition, not the coalition, the GNU thing, in Gauteng, Panyaza did his own thing. Okay, and I can tell you that it seems like Panyaza Lusufi has this thing of negotiating very well. and if they ask him to put his case down and maybe to see, I think he keeps on winning. Because everything that he wants to do, he actually succeeds. Okay? And you even here, you can tell that, he's been trying, say to them, listen guys, we've got two options here, DA, Action SA, what do you think? When he comes there, he shows them the picture of how things are going to be. But also I have to accept that Ayaza Lusufi, he has never liked, to be in coalition or in the GNU or GNP or whatever it is called in the provincial place. With the DA, he has liked to work with them, because of the way the DA actually treat people. Now, obviously, now he's going to talk and say, what, people are saying to me, I'm rogue and I don't listen to the president and blah, 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 blah.
Controllable somebody that undermines the president of the country and somebody that has an ambition to be a president of this country. I'm still wet behind my ears, Madi Major. I have no ambition at all to lead the ANC National. I have no ambition at all to be the president. Actually, this president was supported primarily by myself. The first rally President Ramaphosa addressed to indicate that it's running to be the president of the ANC was in Tembisa. And now I'm labeled an Alexander Mafia. The first, if you go to the last conference where President Ramaphosa was voted, who led the leadership of Gauteng into that to vote for Ramaphosa? It's myself. So this pseudo analyst that automatically dragged my name to say I'm Alexander Mafia, Paul Mashadine corner, led by unfounded allegations by Helen Zille, baffles me. I really don't know why people can do this.
What's the next step? Because Helen Zille says Celia Brink is going to be put as a candidate for the DA when the new mayor is being voted in. In fact, Helen Zille says that you have a choice here as the ANC.
Before he goes on, there is where he says people are saying to me, or people are talking and saying, I'm interested in becoming a president, okay? Now, guys, whether we like it or not, Payaza Lusufi is actually at the door when it comes to that part of his life, becoming a president. Now, he may not, concentrate more on it, but a lot of people are talking about it, and I think also in the party, maybe there are people who are thinking about him of being a president, okay? Obviously, after Mashadile or anything like that, because I am looking at the ANC and I'm looking at the conference, when they go to conference, who is going to contest? For example, let's say Ramaphosa decides to say, I'm no longer I want to be a president, okay? Who is going to contest Mashadile, except Panyaza Lusufi, Maybe his branch might say, listen, we want to put you in there. And I don't think he will say no, And I don't see any problem, with him becoming a president. In the ANC, we don't see any person right now, except maybe Paul Mashatile, because he's already a deputy president. But after that, who else, is going to be there, And I don't see a problem, and I think he should be defending himself and saying people are saying I don't have ambitions, okay? But in the deep down in your heart, you know that if you can get that position, it will be a nice thing. It's not a wrong thing, my guy, to be ambitious. It's a good thing, okay? As long as you are doing it right.
Either you vote with the DA to bring Celia Brink back, or the DA will no longer enter into any talks to save other municipalities.
I'm glad it's explicit, but those discussions are led by our General Secretary Mbadula, Sigil Mbadula, and Makura. And we will get guidance from them. If they want the ANC to fill the candidate, the national leadership will tell us. If they want Action SA to be supported with a candidate, the national leadership will tell us. Or if they want any other person to stand as a mayor, we'll be guided by national leadership. We are one organization called the African National Congress. This obsession to try to create a division between ourselves as a province and national irritates me. And it's something that falls squarely within the Swat Khefar that was there, the Communist Party fear that was created now, the EFF fear that is created. And I've been accused that I'm very close to EFF, I'm close to MK Party, something that is far-fetched, that cannot be substantiated by evidence and cannot be supported by any discussion that I had, either with EFF or MK Party. I remain a leader of the ANC. I'm under the command of our president called Ramaphosa, and I'm prepared to be guided by the national leadership of the ANC on any other part. I have no ambitions, and I have no ambitions to either don't support the national leadership on matters that affect how we relate to coalition government. Actually, it's the DA itself that has created the chaos that we're in, and they're trying to avoid that. They were running Johannesburg without us. We're occupying opposition benches. What happened? They irritated PA, and that's how that government collapsed. They were running Ekurhuleni with EFF. What happened? They irritated EFF, and that government collapsed. They were running Tshwane without us. What happened? They irritated DA, and that municipality collapsed. The DA does not have the ability to manage relations, and the DA does not have the ability to respect those that are in coalition with. And check, after we've taken over, there's no mayor that was a vote of no confidence, because we know how to manage relations, and we know how to ensure that everything runs smoothly when you have this kind of coalition.
So it seems like the way Panyaza Lusufis said it at the end there, it seems like every relationship that the DA gets into, like they try to control the people that they are in agreement with. It seems like they, like, because if Herman Mashaba, now other people they might say, well, Herman Mashaba, I don't think he likes the DA, because obviously he comes from the DA, he was taken out, just whatever. Okay, so I really, to be honest, guys, with you, when it comes to Mama Shab, I won't look at it too much based on him, because obviously if you come from there and but the fact that they went into coalition together with the DA, obviously I don't think that thing was going to work, guys. I don't think so. When it happened, I was like, I wonder what's going to happen here, because already we all know that Mashaba and the DA is just, and all of that. Now, I don't know, guys, what do you think about this one? And do you think, and unfortunately, this thing, it affects people on the ground, There is this thing, I don't know whether it's in Joburg, Lillian Goi Street, I think. So that thing, that blast, you remember that blast there? It is still like that in Joburg, I think. Is it Joburg? Yeah. It's still like that. It's not fixed. Why? Because we don't have stable governance. We don't have stable government or provincial government, okay, in these places. That's why you see these things taking long, okay? Anyway, tell me what do you think, ladies and gentlemen, and you can put your comments in section. Please, guys, engage respectfully. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, and do the do's. Sharp. I am out. Aha.